Manchester City's rebuild starts here, and it starts where every rebuild should start, at the back. Build the foundations and then play from there. That's what Manchester City did and Pep Guardiola did when he first arrived, rebuilding, reshaping that Manuel Pellegrini squad after he left the football club. But apparently, Pep Guardiola, he doesn't know how to rebuild a squad. He has no idea what he's doing. He's only been here 10 years. Do you know what I mean? Because he's still playing with the same 11 that Manuel Pellegrini left him, apparently, according to some. The guy doesn't know how to rebuild. So we either spend too much money or we don't know how to rebuild. It's one or the other. We've got no fans as well, apparently, and we're just boring. I don't know. There's a lot of problems with Manchester City rival fans seem to have nowadays, isn't there? But anyway, the left-back situation is a key area for Manchester City. Both full-back positions, really, in all honesty, because we definitely don't have a right-back right now. But the three names that are continuously linked with Manchester City, I'm going to go into detail about all three contract situations, as well as comparing their statistics as well, and actually see how they fare, because I know there's one favourite for certain City fans, that the most recent player to be linked with City is a favourite for a lot of City fans. But I think there's a big argument to say that he should be the third favourite on this list of players you're about to see. But let's have a look at the first player, linked in January, very close to happening in January. Andrea Cambiaso from Juventus. Left back or right back, he can play. Very, very versatile. 39 appearances to his name this season. 25 of those were at left back. 5 at right back. 4 at right midfield. 3 at left midfield. 1 at right wing and 1 at left wing. So the guy knows versatility, which is straight out of the Pep Guardiola playbook for me. 25 years old, Italian. I mean, straight away I can hear the fans crying, Italians don't do well in the Premier League. The pasta's crap over here. They don't like it over here. They do not succeed. Well, I'd argue, up until Federico Chiesa won the league with Liverpool recently. I'm not sure he did much for them this season, to be honest, but Mario Balotelli very much did stuff for Manchester City, so I will let's see if we can add a third Italian to a Premier League medal winner. You know, and hopefully it could be Andrea Cambiaso wearing a City shirt next season. We'll see. But his contract expires in 2029 with a market value of 40 million euros. We're going to compare these stats as well, these three players I'm going to show you. So the second player, Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth. I think he's brilliant on the eye. I do like what I see from him, but statistically it's interesting. It's interesting what you're going to see. 36 appearances this season, all of which have been at left back. So zero versatility, very much a left back. 21 years old though, so he's got age on his side. He's still so young, so fresh. Could be considered a bit raw, if anything. Hungarian contract expires in 2028 and he's got a market value of 35 million euros. Antonee Robinson is the third name on the list. He was linked with Manchester City in January as well. 34 appearances to his name, 28 of those are at left back and 6 of them are at left midfield. So slightly versatile up and down that left wing, but still predominantly a left-sided player. 27 years old though, so you compare that to the 21-year-old Milos Kerkez, 6-year age difference between the two, but still 27 years old is hardly old. A lot of people think that's old nowadays, which is crazy to me, because I think he's absolutely in the peak. His best years are potentially ahead of him, if anything. American player, contract expires in 2028, and he too has a market value of 35 million euros. The profiles of all three seem very, very similar to me. Question for City fans as well. Nico OReilly, should he not be considered our main left back for next season? A lot of people would say no, because it's not exciting. It's not blockbuster. It's not newsworthy to have a player come through the academy and play at left back, when, to be honest, he's done a bloody brilliant job so far. You know, I don't see any reason to not play him at the minute. He's done a fantastic job. He's changed our fortunes this season, Nico OReilly. He's been bloody brilliant. But I do think there's an argument to be had that we still need other players that can play in different positions. So we'll have to wait and see if that materialises. So right, let's have a look and compare the stats. Starting with, I'm going to do a three-way here. Everyone loves a three-way. Everyone loves a bit of a three-way as long as it involves the right people. And this looks to be the right people to me. Cambiaso, Kerkez and Robinson. Of course, I'm going to start with the attacking stats. Okay, so green, it means you win out of the three. If you've got an orange stat, that means you finished second in comparison. If you're red, you finished third in comparison. So Cambiaso, in terms of attacking numbers, are absolutely fantastic. Going forward, he smashes the other two players, in all honesty. And Kerkez very much finishes bottom in all of the categories bar one, and I'll go through those now. Goals and assists per 90. Now this spans over 2 seasons as well, which I think I've picked those 2 years primarily because that's the period of time where Manchester City's interest was peaked, and we showed an interest in these players from the year before and the most recent year, of course, as why Manchester City are so interested in these 3 players. So I've looked at their stats from 2023 to 2025. So goals and assists per 90 over the 2 years. Cambiaso smashing it and Robinson in second. Shot creating actions per 90. Now this could be anything that creates a shot. A pass, a tackle, a shot that it ends up being a rebound, a flick, a foul one, anything like that. Attacking potency, in other words. Cambiaso, again, quite comfortably ahead of the other 2. Passing accuracy, again, Cambiaso smashing it. Key passes per 90, which sort of falls into the shot creating action category, but focuses solely on the passing side of things. You can see Cambiaso is very much comfortably ahead of everyone else in that list again. Progressive carries, though, Robinson does pretty bloody well. He's very athletic, isn't he? You see that, you picture him playing on a football pitch with a Fulham shirt on. He is so athletic going up and down that wing, so it's no surprise to see him with the highest number of progressive carries per 90 minutes. Take on percentage, though, they're not a million miles apart, in all honesty. There's 1% difference between Kerkez and Robinson, and Cambiaso is still ahead of everyone, though. So attacking wise, Cambiaso for me is the player you want if you want a player to have attacking attributes. And don't forget, the guy can play right back as well. It's so versatile for me, and I think that's a key factor for this side of the transfer saga. Defensive stats, though, Antonee Robinson, mate, absolutely bossing it. Now, you have to factor in the side. You have to factor the sides they play in the attacking side of things as well, because Juventus have a tendency to get forward and be more of the dominating side in their league compared to Kerkez at Bournemouth and Robinson at Fulham. They are mid-table sides, those 2 sides, so they're going to have a little bit more defending to do, but still, Robinson is very, very comfortably ahead in virtually all the departments when it comes to defensive stats. Tackles 1 per 90, Robinson smashes it. But I've introduced their tackles in the defensive third, purposefully did that to show what area of the pitch these players are playing their football in. So Robinson in the defensive third is comfortably ahead of both Cambiaso and Kerkez, whereas in the attacking third, the counter press, where City tend to want to win the ball back, like Pep with the Gegenpress, we want to win that ball back nice and early, as quick as we can. And that's where Cambiaso comes in, and he's winning the ball back early in the attacking third of the pitch, which again, that sort of leans towards a Pep style of fullback. Blocks per 90, Robinson. Interceptions per 90, Robinson. Clearances per 90, Robinson. And yeah, Cambiaso definitely falls too heavily into the red there to be considered the best defensive fullback there, and Robinson smashing it. So in terms of balance, I would say Robinson probably takes it. You know, the one factor for me is remembering his age. He's 27 years old, but also remember that Cambiaso for me is versatile. He could play right back. So don't forget, we signed Walker and Mendy. So I don't see why we don't sign Cambiaso, play him right back, you know, as someone that could potentially invert into that midfield role, as we've seen so many do. Nunes has had a go at it. Rico Lewis has had a go at it. Cancelo was doing it when he was at City. So we've got these players that want to invert, and he could do that from the right back position. Sign Antonee Robinson as a left back would be my argument. The only argument in favour of Kerkez is the fact that he's so young, but he's not got a single green stat to his name. He finishes behind at least one of the players in all of the comparisons on these statistics you can see. So while Kerkez is bottom, but he's still 21 years old. So there is that to bear in mind, that there's so much growth. So picture him when he's 27 years old and he's matured, and maybe put him in a better side. Could you see those stats go even higher? It's hard to gauge at this point because he's so young. So it's a bit harsh to rule out Kerkez entirely, because I actually think he's a fantastic player. This season, he's been a very big standout player for Bournemouth for me. But statistically, as of right now, he falls behind Cambiaso and Robinson. So I think it's an interesting one, and there's an argument for all 3. There is genuinely an argument for all 3, but my solution would be Cambiaso at right back, Robinson at left back, and as long as you can keep the money below 80 to 100 million for both combined, I think that's good business, because we signed Walker for 50 and Benjamin Mendy for 50, and we paid probably over the odds for Mendy, but we got our money's worth out of Kyle Walker. Would we get our money's worth from Cambiaso and Robinson if we kept that below 100 million? I want to hear your thoughts. Blues, let me know. Like and subscribe to Typical City, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now, holding up silverware.